Hello friends, trust you all are doing well in these difficult times. As we talk, wave 2 is subsiding and we are witnessing a calibrated reopening which is now underway across states. High frequency data have started to improve. However, the month of May witnessed the worst of the economic impact. Various mobility indices took a severe hit in the month of May. The weakness was apparent in high frequency data like power, which fell by 4.8% in May versus positive 3.2% growth in April. E-way bills declined by 16.2%. Rail freight dropped 4.5%. In addition, air passenger traffic is down by 77%. Even unemployment data has spiked to double digits. The goods and services tax collection for the month of May came at 1.03 lakh crores versus record setting 1.41 lakh crores in the month of April. This has happened at a time when we had just started to see a nascent recovery as GDP growth inched up in the last quarter of FY21 at 1.6% and compared to 0.4% growth in quarter ending December 21. December 20, sorry. Looking forward, this has led to forecasts by market participants which are largely indicating 3 to 4% contraction in quarter one ending, quarter one of the FY22. The reason for this lesser decline when compared to the first lockdowns last year is this restrictions have been less stringent and we are seeing lesser linkages between the mobility and economic activity as businesses have adopted COVID compatible occupation models. Other important data has been inflation. Headline CPI inflation for April released in month of May moderated to 4.3% versus 5.5% in March. The moderation in CPI was led by lower food inflation and of course a favorable base effect. Core CPI inflation also dropped to 5.4% versus 5.9% a month before, mainly due to lower rise in prices of the transportation services, education, household goods and services. WPI inflation for the month of April rose to 10.49%, which is 11-year high. This compares to 7.39% a month before. Core WPI was also high at 8.4%. The overall rise was led by cost of fuel, power and primary articles. Also the base effect of the last year when the severe lockdowns were there. Another data which needs to be pointed out is household inflation expectations. The median inflation perception for the current period is shot up to 10.2%, which is 150 basis points higher than the last month. For further 3 months and 1 year ahead expectations have shot up by 70 basis points. This number may not mean anything in itself, but in earlier times when inflation used to be a concern, this data used to be looked upon. And amid the discussion right now, which is whether the inflation is transitory or is it long lasting, this number is worth a mention here. On government finances, there are a couple of noteworthy data and developments. RBI has approved 99,000 crores of dividend for GOI, Government of India, this year, which is 73% higher than the previous year's dividend and around 80%, 85% higher than the budgeted number. That's a positive. On negative side, there are a couple of developments. First is Government of India indicated additional borrowing of 1.58 trillion rupees to fund GST compensation shortfall to states. Also a new development is here, which is which is change in government's new vaccination policy and an extension of its free food program. This will increase the fiscal spending and may amount to additional spending of 1 lakh crores. So this would be an additional burden to the government. Banking system liquidity for the month of May averaged around 4.6 trillion rupees, which is lower than the previous month's 5.5 trillion. This meant little pressure on money market segment, where 3 months T-bill were up by 7 basis points, 6 months T-bill were up by 6 basis points. Though still a very high positive liquidity, but some realignment with the reverse repo rate has happened. On longer rates, the yield for 10-year benchmark was very range bound during the month, from around 596 to 602, and it inched up 1 basis point and closed at around 6.02 at month end. Overall markets were flat. Most of the action was happening between 1 to 5 year segment, the AAA curve, where we saw very thin issuances by PSUs, and the value buying, especially in 3 to 5 year bonds, meant that these AAA PSU bonds saw the yield drop of around 10 to 20 basis point. In second bi-monthly monetary policy, the Monetary Policy Committee, in line with broader market expectation, unanimously voted to keep the policy rates unchanged. MPC also reiterated its accommodative monetary policy stance, which is there to support the growth and will be there as long as necessary to sustain the growth on durable basis. RBI's announcement on GSAP 2.0 was well taken by market. It was expected. 20% increase on GSAP 1.0 was seen. GSAP 1.0, which was the original first time GSAP announcement was there, was of 1 lakh crores. This time 1.2 trillion rupees of commitment has been given. There's a 20% increase, and from the previous GSAP 1.0, the 40,000 which was pending, in that 10,000 crore provision for 10,000 crores has been made for SDL buying. On growth and inflation, MPC has given us a forecast of 100 basis point downward revision on growth, where FY22 growth forecast stands at 9.5% from 10.5% earlier, and a 10 basis point increase in inflation forecast, CPI forecast, to 5.1% from 5%. The quarterly projection shown by NPC shows that largest downward revisions in growth are expected are there in Q1 and Q2, and period second half of the FY22 is a period of recovery and normalcy. The minor adjustment in CPI by 10 basis point masks a lots of upside risk to the CPI, to the inflation, in the form of crude oil prices, commodity prices, worsened logistic conditions. These factors are expected to keep CPI up, elevated, going ahead. And further, the sharp rise in WPI, which we have discussed, which captures the surge in global commodity prices, has raised the concerns that cost push pressures could spill over to CPI inflation. However, till now, MPC have taken these factors to be transient in absence of any kind of demand pull inflation. We expect this to continue till the time growth finds firm footing. Going ahead, as this debate on global price pressures being transient or long-lasting continues, RBI's focus will remain to support growth as long as domestic growth finds a firm footing. And easy monetary policy till that time will continue. There can be times where this objectives of managing inflation, bond yields and rupee became conflicting, but we expect even at those times the weightage of the growth objective would be higher as it is now. This would mean we will see RBI intervention in both G-Sec market and forex markets to continue with the objective of regulating liquidity and managing flows and orderly evaluation of the yield curve. On market expectation on eventual normalization of very easy monetary policy which is deployed right now, there can be many scenarios, but two scenarios which comes to mind right now are first being in CPI touches 6% and hovers around that for a couple of quarters, and that would create some space for RBI to normalize the policy, easy monetary policy which is there right now. And second scenario is there where the growth in yield differential between India and the world worsens and putting pressure on FII flows, and that can mean that RBI's intervention in forex market is lesser and lesser required, and indirectly that puts up a cap on the local domestic liquidity. In current economic environment, as world goes through this devastating pandemic, the economies are going through a biggest monetary experiment deployed by the central banks. So the results, the outcomes actual outcomes can be totally different from the forecast which are there in the market. In this kind of time, we advise investors to match up their investment horizon with the portfolio durations, or select strategies which are having inherently lower risk in the form of, let's say, a roll down strategy, or select strategy which select actively manage strategies which are acting on the lower end of the curve. For investors with a longer horizon, can be advised to invest in a systematic manner in funds which are having longer duration, because the curve is very steep right now, and that steepness and the spread right now is providing a protection to investors with longer term horizon for any rate shocks which can come later in the cycle. Thank you. See you next month.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.